Almost there.
Yeah.
Now you can do it.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, hello. We just made it so that we're live and everything is
We are
here.
live.
We are live and we need to tweet that shiz. That stuff.
Let's see here.
We are live. Come join us at twitch.tv/Tauren Think Tank.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, Wednesday show.
Hump day.
That's what I tweeted, so there you go.
Yes, you did.
I did.
Welcome. Welcome to the first Hump Day Spectacular. Da, da, da. Everybody, look, it is Hump Day. It's the middle of the week. Don't fret, the weekend's on the way. You've only got 2 more days, then you're rolling in the hay.
I don't know. Are you making this up? I don't know this song.
I am making it up.
Okay. I'm like, is this a song that I'm supposed to know?
No, not this time.
Okay. Because otherwise, I'd be like, "Damn, I missed out again, and I don't have the knowledge that I should have. I don't have the knowledge I should have." Oh, all right.
Need an intellect buff.
Okay, I was just turning things and switching it off, and I just saw a thing on my Facebook page that says, in Friendship, Wisconsin, man convicted of drunk driving reportedly blames alcoholic breath on fish.
I may hear that on the radio down here tomorrow morning because they collect all these weird news stories in the morning, rattle them off.
Like, what? What in the what is happening? It's not in the butt, Nate. No. We're doing a show tonight because last Sunday was Super Bowl. This Sunday is Valentine's Day. And so everybody is doing stuff. So we figured we would just squeeze a show in on Wednesday so that we can have the following show on the following Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Get back into our routine. So we're coming back on a weird day so that everybody can have their holidays. Yes.
Yep.
That is how it's working.
Yep.
I may still
do a little streaming on Sunday though.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. That works. Let's see.
Bim, we are going to try something not too far away from fish fry tonight.
Are you?
Well, we are.
Oh, we are. Oh, we are. Yeah.
We are. Yes. Join us in sampling the delicious culinary extravagances of Iceland and England.
This should be fun.
Tonight, Triple T jumps the pond.
Jumps the pond?
You know, we're just across the pond from England, so
gotcha.
We're jumping across the pond.
Okay, all right.
It's a fairly large pond.
Solomio, you are right. I opened this box tonight, and holy crap, Garrett's just went, and he just went right through. At least he's in the other room now and not attacking the bag, because one of them smells like fish for reals. And so I was like, oh no, this is going to be a show where we're going to have cats on the keyboard, and we're going to have triggered on the soundboard again like we did before. And
yeah, it's going to be a little weird. It's going to be just a little weird.
And then all of a sudden you're going to get this.
I like your jugs.
It's going to show up on the soundboard as Garrett walks over it. It's like, come on.
Oh, man.
That's too funny. I'm hearing an echo. Is your volume up on your headphones?
Is that better now?
Let me say something loud. The volume up on your headphones and yeah, it's better.
Check, mic check.
Yep, that's
okay.
better. When my voice went up high, I heard myself echo back on you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm glad I got that fixed.
Yes. Okay, so we're testing this one for kill. And you hear that? That's fine. DOS is good. I think I'm a little dark. I'm gonna move my light around a little bit and get a little light in here. Ooh, look at that. That's much lighter. Look at that. I'm brightly lit.
Ugh.
I know.
I still need to work on getting some of my lighting improved a little bit.
Yeah, you have got overhead lighting in there, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. When you got overhead lighting.
It is.
Yep. I know. I've got
But-
a lamp in the corner over there. I've got a lamp over there, and I've got a lamp down here. And so just kind of like making it all work.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can see my PAX shirt. That's awesome.
Yes.
You got me. I thought you had me like zoomed in on my face.
No, I made your picture a little bit bigger so we could get more of your space in there. So
Thank you.
yeah. Plus
That works for me.
You fit in the box better this way too. So
Mm-hmm.
you fit in the box better.
I'm going to avoid dirty jokes. So.
Oh man, I don't know what happens when I play Heroes with Ladies on Tuesday nights, but all of a sudden my inappropriate sense of humor comes flying out. And I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that I had said that. I did say that.
I sure did. A little bit of Nevermore rubbing off on you.
Yeah. Oh, it was okay. So I'm gonna swear. I'm gonna warn you guys right now. I'm gonna swear that somebody during the cast last night belched really loudly. I think it was Nevermore. She just let out this huge belch. And we were like, oh, that's nice. And she's like, I know. And I just rolled my eyes and I said, we're so fucking ladylike. And they just lost it. Were there swag bags at PAX?
There were?
What? Oh, damn. I guess we missed them.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
No, I didn't either. Where were they? I have zero clue. That sucks, Rue. Did you guys get one? Did you and Jimmy get one? That sucks. Well, I don't know. I don't need extra stuff. Like, I know I don't need extra stuff. So it's like,
I like extra stuff.
yeah, you like extra stuff.
I like
I'm
extra stuff.
I don't like all that stuff.
I'm not seeing anything on eBay. That's where I would expect to find it.
Oh, you're looking for swag bags.
Yeah, because just to see if it showed what was in it. Mm-hmm. Because I bought enough stuff from the store. I got the patch, the logo patch. If I ever get a bomber jacket, it's going on there. Yeah, it's gonna be like right there next to my mage, and all this other stuff.
Little well played patch on there,
and the CTR one on there.
Yep. Oh, we didn't miss much. That's good.
That works then.
That's good. I'm glad. I didn't need to get anything more, so that was cool. We got in there. Oh, my computer is making noise over there. Windows 10 does that little whatever. And I need to turn those alerts off.
Yeah. How do you like Windows 10? Is it just it's just there?
Here's the thing. I can't seem to find anything like I used to in Windows 7. And so I'm like, okay, where is my file manager? And where is this, grouping things? And I've had to dig weird places to find stuff that I thought I knew where they were. And Windows 10, it's not intuitive. And the other thing that bugs me is that they list every single app alphabetically. And you can't just, it's not easy to just, I want to go to Steam and I have to go down to the S's and then I have to find Steam and then I have to click it if it's not in my favorites link up there. And it's like in the Windows 10, it used to put them or Windows 7, it used to just anything you used recently would just pop up on the top there.
Yeah. It's just right there on the start.
Right. And so that's where I was just like, well, that's kind of shitty. But otherwise, it is what it is. It makes those weird sounds, though, which the alerts I need to turn off. So
okay, yeah, I'm thinking of buying a solid state drive and Windows 10 to put on it, and then kind of start piece by piece upgrading the system just a little bit, or the desktop just a little bit.
Yeah, cool. Doing all the little pieces of upgrades. I love it.
Yes. So let's see. I'm trying to call out everybody that we saw there.
Crumbles.
And then yeah. Oh,
Thule?
wrong. Yeah. Let's see. And yeah.
I look up her name. Hang on.
Yeah.
I gotta look up her name.
Want to make sure we do this right.
Nope. I think you're very smart. Smart cookie, yo.
Oh yeah. I remember.
You got it?
Yeah. Is it
Elizabeth.
Yep.
Yep, Crumbles is on there.
And oh yeah, and of course
Tony and Holiday.
Yep.
Yep.
I think that's it.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's the list.
Okay.
Excellent. All right, so we have tested the soundboard in there.
Kilrog.
Yes, we did. All right. Are you getting ready? Are you ready to go soon?
Yeah, I'm ready. We can ready when you are.
Well, chat room, we have to make sure the chat room's ready. So chat room, are you guys ready? Press 1 for bull. Press 1 for bull. I feel like we're out of practice with this.
I'm still waiting for food, Buff.
Oh, damn it.
Someone
drop a table.
All right.
Someone drop a table. All right. Oh, look at them.
Table
Look
drop.
how so ready they are. It's awesome.
Yes.
Let's do this thing. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the World of Warcraft podcast for you, the World of Warcraft player.
It's episode 176 of Tauren Think Tank. My name is Jules. It's Wednesday, February 10th. What the heck are we doing on a Wednesday? Yeah,
Boy, I really overslept.
I know you did. Boy, that
3
Super
days.
Bowl, that Super Bowl, man, it messed up everything.
Oh goodness.
We're here on a Wednesday because of Super Bowl Sunday and the fact that Valentine's Day is this coming Sunday, so it messes up with us 2 weeks. So we're here on a Wednesday night to kind of bridge the gap between the two. Again, my name is Jules, and with me, as always, is my partner in crime, the wonderful, illustrious, back from PAX Marconin.
Yes. Good evening, Jules, and hello, everybody. Like she said, we're back from PAX. Our first show since we got back, and since we did that little thing called a panel.
Mm-hmm.
So I am still excited from that. You know, even though it's been over a week, like a week and a half since we did it. It was awesome.
It was awesome. We'll tell you guys all about our time at PAX. I think that's going to be our entire intro this week. But real quick, we're doing the show on a Wednesday. We will not be here on Sunday because it is Valentine's Day and people are going to be enjoying that time with their significant others. And then we will come back the following Sunday. So we will be back on our normal schedule once all these holidays get out of our way. And we had kind of a weird schedule because we went to PAX. So, so we apologize, but we're really glad that we were able to capture the audio for the panel, and we did put that up on the feed. So please, if you didn't check that out, that's episode 175. That's the entire audio from the PAX panel. But we'll talk about all of this. Mark Honan, it was so good to see you in San Antonio last week.
It was definitely good to see you too, Jules. It was really cool. I drove down. Jules flew down.
Yep.
So I drove down over the course of 2 days, made it 2 little quick jumps of 4 hours each, and went and picked her up at the airport, which was different. We hadn't done that before.
No.
So it was kind of cool.
That was awesome. And I mean, I had easiest flights except for having to be there at 5:45 in the morning to take, well, I had to leave. My flight left at 5:45, which means I had to be there at 4:30 in the morning. I did pretty good that entire day, considering I had been up since the crack of dawn, And we and we got to San Antonio, and we just literally just kind of got in the car, got to the hotel. Marconin and I roomed together to save some money, and we were like, let's explore the city. Let's figure out this whole deal. Let's figure all this stuff out.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. Now you've been to San Antonio before.
Yeah, a couple years ago when I worked overnights, I spent about 6 months in Houston, and I have a friend that lives in San Antonio now, a friend of mine from college, and I went to visit her 2 times while I was down there. So this was my 3rd time to San Antonio, but it was the most amount of time that I'd stayed in San Antonio because the other times it was just there for a few hours and then drove back. So
yeah.
It's the first time I actually stay in San Antonio, so it was pretty cool.
It's a nice city.
Take our time. It really is.
Yeah.
The Riverwalk was really cool. It's kind of touristy,
yeah,
but you expect that. I mean, it's one of the main attractions of the city, so it kind of has to be. But you take that as it is. It's still pretty cool.
And the Riverwalk itself, if you haven't been to San Antonio, there is a river that goes straight through the middle of the city. And they have built this touristy area. You kind of go down and walk along the sides of the river. They've got restaurants and hotels and shops and all that kind of thing. And it weaves all the way around. And so it's very walking friendly, which is awesome. And boy, Marcona and I walked so much that first day.
We really did.
Exploring and checking things out. And then we got back and we were like, okay, we're kind of tired. Let's just take a little bit of a breather. And then it was like, we're hungry. Let's go get some dinner, get some barbecue, which was so good. And the best part of this whole thing is that it was like 75 degrees in January.
Yeah, I should have brought shorts. It was that warm to me that it was hot outside.
Yeah.
I was like, I should have brought shorts. It's too warm out here.
I just felt like I was this lizard that was coming out into the sun for the first time in 4 months. And so all I did while we walked around was like put my arms out and be like, I'm not wearing a coat. I'm not even wearing a sweatshirt. This is awesome. Like it was so cool.
I need to absorb all the sunshine I can.
It made me feel a tremendous amount better, like coming back to the really cold again. It was like I could deal with that because I had actually had some sun, which was so cool.
Got a nice vitamin D infusion.
Seriously, like I felt physically better, which was great. So I definitely need to make sure I do that like once a winter is go someplace warm and get some sun.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you just go, because right now it's like freaking cold in Wisconsin. So you're just like, it's just sucky cold. So anyway, we get the next day was Friday. That was the day of our panel. And we finally got a chance to lay eyes on Dr. Anthony Bean for the first time, which was so cool. And we met his wife, Dr. Holiday Bean. She's also a psychologist. And boy, we just hit it off immediately. It was just we were just like everybody, the 4 of us were just like chatterboxes and, we're trying to make our way through PAX. We found all these cool things. It was great. And then it was time to get ready for the panel. And, so Mark Honan had a great idea that he had this camera with him. Your camera does video with it. And we had thought we could do like a periscope of the event so people could watch us live and be at home and be with us. Well, we didn't take into account that it's PAX and you get no cell signal anywhere.
Yeah. We kind of forgot about that part, even though, the both of us have been to BlizzCon before. And so we've kind of had that, you'd think we would remember these things, but yeah, we didn't. So I'm just glad I had the camera to fall back on.
Which was great. And so our friend Rue, her husband was willing to help us out because Rue was going to do the Periscope for us, and she had everything set up. She had a tripod, she had her phone, and that wasn't working. So she got her husband set up with a was it just a tripod? Was it a monopod?
I think it was a monopod.
Yeah, and Mark Honan's camera in the front row. And we were able to record the whole thing, bring it home, edit it up, and make it video. So, like, thank goodness we did that because you guys were asking us like crazy to see it. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But we made it work. And as soon as I got a small amount of time where I wasn't asleep or on the road, I was able to cut it together and kind of throw it up there real quick for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I've heard some good feedback from it, so that was good too. So
it was such a cool experience. So
it was.
You were out going to get the camera, and I got a message from Gossi and Michelle that they were first in line waiting for the panel, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I mean, we were really thinking that we would have like 20 people.
Yeah.
That showed up to this thing. So I find where the room is, and they create lines outside of the conference rooms that they have like taped off on the carpet for people to just sit and wait for the next panel to come in, and it keeps the walkways open and all that stuff. And I find Michelle and Gossi. We were talking Thule's there. I found Thule, and I'm watching as the line starts to form, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And Mark Honan is texting me and calling me saying, where is this panel? I can't find it. Where am I? So I'm telling him, we'll go upstairs.
I got a little lost.
So come upstairs. He walks up to me and I go, look at the people lined up. And I think your eyes just about bugged out of your head.
Just a little bit, you know?
Oh my gosh. So, because we're thinking at this point, nobody knows who we are. And of course, the panel's been advertised in all the PAX stuff, but we have no clue because we've never done this before. So they let us into the room early, of course, because we're the speakers, and they set us up at the table, and we're on this stage, and there's the table with the lines of the microphones. And then I look out at the room and the size of the room, and I'm like, holy crap, this room is big. We're not going to fill this up. Right? We're looking at that going, we're not going to fill this up.
Yeah, it's like, maybe we'll get like, maybe a little bit of people, maybe just a little bit. We were wrong.
Oh,
there was actually, how many do you think you would say were in there at the end?
Holiday said there were 200 people in there.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. And that was shocking, just to see all those people. I was very nervous. I was nervous to talk in front of all these people at first.
Yeah.
But after a couple of minutes, we just kind of got into our groove with it, and so it worked out pretty well, and we got a lot of good kind of feedback, like instantaneous feedback from the audience too. There were a lot of people who were very responsive, and they were understanding the material and where we were coming from with what we were saying, and that's always good, because to do any kind of public speaking and you just get no reaction.
Yeah,
that's where you don't want it to be, but we did pretty well, I think.
We did great. Tony and I had kind of worked out how we were going to just play off of each other to kind of pass things back and forth. And the audience, as we were talking, they were nodding, they were giving us thumbs up, they were like clapping. And so we had planned this whole thing where we were going to talk for about maybe 30 minutes, and then we were going to give them 30 minutes to ask questions. But of course, we're expecting that we're going to have to like coax them to start coming up there and asking us questions. As soon as we opened up the question and answer period, they like flocked to the microphone that was in the middle of the aisle that was waiting for them. And there was a line. We got maybe through a third of it before we had to go. And we could have kept going for another, at least a half an hour, if not longer.
Oh, yeah. I would say almost an hour, probably, just by the number of people that were waiting. It was really cool. We actually got to talk to a few of them afterwards.
Yeah, because then the PAX personnel are like holding up signs in the back saying time. And and then they were really nice. They came up to me afterwards and they said, a lot of people go out by the escalators, encourage people to come talk to them out there. So that's what we did. And we were there for like 45 minutes. And people were just hanging out, talking to us, asking us questions, talking to the doctors. It was really, really cool. So if you are listening to us because you saw us at PAX, we say hi, thank you.
And welcome.
And welcome, because this is awesome. We definitely are planning to try to do this again for next year. That would be a fantastic thing for us to do. Tony was trying to get us to go to PAX East, and I'm like, I don't have the funds to go out there now.
Yeah, I was gonna say we still got the movie meetup. We've still got BlizzCon, and my pockets aren't that deep. And
so as much as we would like to do that, we couldn't.
Oh, it would be fantastic. I've never been to Boston.
Yeah. So, it was a fantastic time. And then after we were done with that, we went immediately to our meetup which was held at Mi Tierra, an awesome Mexican place. Like, this was highly recommended by a ton of people, and this was like the biggest Mexican restaurant I've ever seen.
It was large.
That was a big place.
By Tex-Mex standards, it was a very large establishment.
Yes, with no parking.
Yes, with maybe 5 parking spaces. which that was the first time I've ever used an Uber before, was that night.
Yeah.
I've never had to before, and it was really cool. The gal who was our first Uber driver, she was a total nerd like us, and she was like, "Oh, you guys, how are you guys liking PAX? It's so awesome." And it was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we did our meetup, which was even more cooler.
Yes. So we need to say thank you to the folks who joined us during our meetup. Marconin has all the names together, so we didn't forget.
Yeah. Yeah, a big thanks for coming out and for hanging out with us to Michelle, to Gossi, to Rulu and her husband and son. They were awesome. Crumbles as well for meeting us at the dinner. We've also got Thule, who came from Sweden to hang out with us.
Yes.
So thank you, Thule. It was awesome hanging out with you again. So cool. And also we've got Elizabeth, who came in from San Marcos, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool getting to meet her. And also, we can't go through this without saying a big thank you to Doctors Anthony and Holiday Bean, because it's because Jules, you and Tony coming up with this idea and submitting it that we're even able to do this.
Yeah.
So a big thanks to them, and also to you, Jules, because it's partially your fault that we went. So
it was
awesome.
My bright idea to do this, and
Yeah.
I just posted to Tony and said, "You know how to write these proposal things. Let's do this." And so we did, and it turned out to be one of the coolest experiences that we've ever had. So it was just so cool to see everybody and hang out, and we had a great time. So that has been our time at PAX,
and it was really great.
Oh, go
it was
ahead.
really great going to a convention that wasn't Blizzard heavy.
Yeah.
As weird as it sounds, it's out of our element for the two of us, because we really haven't been to a video game convention outside of BlizzCon or Nerdtacular or the like. And so it was really cool to get to kind of mix it up with the rest of our gamer, both card game nerds, tabletop nerds, all these gamers, all flavors of gamers are there.
Yeah.
And it was really cool to see just everything. I wanted to buy so many things. There were like 5 different kiosks that were selling old consoles and old. I saw a black Game Boy, original Game Boy, and I was like, I really want that, but I also have to eat, so I'm gonna leave that there for right now, and I'll buy one later. Because it was so cool, very nostalgic. Seeing all those old things. Got to play Street Fighter V against Tony. It was awesome.
That was funny. That was really cool. And Street Fighter V isn't out yet, so you guys were able to play it before it was even released.
I think it comes out next week.
Next week,
it comes out really soon because we have copies at work already.
Oh, very cool.
Not for sale, but
Not for sale.
Yeah, we have them ready when they come out.
One of the cool stories that we had, though, so Marconin and I and Tony and Holiday, we got these badges at PAX that said special guest on them.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what the story is. And
Yeah.
So we were in the elevator at our hotel coming down. I think we were heading out, and there was a pizza delivery guy who was coming down the elevator with us. And so he looks at our badges and he goes, "Oh, special guests, huh? You guys work for Blizzard?" And we kind of looked at each other, and then we realized I'm wearing an Alliance jacket. He's wearing a BlizzCon t-shirt.
Yeah.
We're covered in Blizzard gear, and I'm like, oh no.
Like,
We
no.
don't work for
We
Blizzard.
wish, but no.
But no.
No.
So we were definitely repping the Blizzard Entertainment swag while we were there, though, which was great. So that's our
Gotta wear your
update from PAX. And again, thank you for everybody who joined us. A couple other announcements, too, to let you guys know about. Number one, while we were gone, we made some changes to our Patreon, which are kind of cool. And we're super excited to talk about these real quick.
Yeah.
The big changes that we made is we changed our goals. And we also added a new perk. The perk that we've added at any level above, from $5 or above, anybody who is in those tiers are eligible to win a drawing one time a month. Marconin is giving away a free customized ringtone or voicemail of your choosing. So you can pick the voice, you can pick the script, and he'll record it for you. if you win. And I am giving away a free coaching session every month, 1 hour coaching session with a patron every month. And it's completely free of charge and no obligation or anything like that. And so we've done a random drawing, and we did our random drawing for February. And we have 2 winners who have been notified. Mark Conan is going to be making a ringtone for Grand Nagus.
Yep. And I talked with Jules earlier today on what it's going to be and kind of what direction I'm going with it. And it's not a Blizzard related one. So it's really cool. It's in my wheelhouse, but these things, and the cool thing is this, the ringtone and voicemail, just like her coaching session is just you two.
Yep.
The ringtone and voicemail thing is just me and whoever wins. I'm not going to give it out to everybody. It's whatever you want. It's just for you because you're awesome.
And we thank you for everything that you guys do for us.
Absolutely.
So that is going to be what we're giving away every month as part of our thank yous to our patrons at $5 or more. And then we've changed our goals. At $400 a month, if we reach that goal, we are going to add the monthly call-in show that you guys have been talking about, that you do that. Additional content, which is great. And then at $500 a month, we're going to add an additional show, which is going to be a Triple T movie night with you. And all of it is up on our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/Tauren Think Tank. If you want to see more, we changed our video. We updated you on all the stuff. We won't go into a ton of it, but please check it out if you are interested in supporting the show. Again, the show's always going to be free. We thank you for your support and all the things that you guys do to help us do things like going to PAX and speak and do those kinds of things, because that extra money certainly does help us and the show as well. So
absolutely.
Okay, so that's one. Number 2, the Warcraft movie meetup. So a couple of months ago, we sent out a bunch of stuff and said, hey, if you're interested in coming to the Warcraft movie meetup, let us know if you want to be on the list, the mailing list, as we keep you updated. A couple things have changed. The official Well Played Warcraft movie meetup is going to be held in Minneapolis, Minnesota, instead of Madison, Wisconsin. We're going to follow the tradition that we've had for the last 4 years, where we've done Minneapolis, and Pat Crane is going to be there. I'm going to be there. Mark Honan's going to be there. A whole bunch of folks are going to be there. And we are about 75% away from making a plan. So I think Pat is actually scouting our selected place this weekend.
Awesome.
Yes. So we're working on it. And if this turns out to be the way that I think it's going to be, it's gonna be sweet, because we've got a really cool plan in place if this all comes together, which really is totally. Don't have a date yet. Don't have a time yet. It's probably going to be the weekend of the movie release, which is going to be on June 10th. So tentatively say June 11th. Which is
4 months, I should say, from today.
That's true. It is 4 months from today the Warcraft movie releases. So if you would like to be on the communication list for updates, just send an email over to wellplayedparty@gmail.com. If you don't remember that, send us an email at questions@torrenthinktank.com and I'll deal with it. So you can remember either one of those. Send us an email. Let me know you want to be on the mailing list. We will get that on there. For those who were anticipating a Madison meetup, I believe the team is going to put together something after the Minnesota meetup. So they will let you know that. And you can contact Midnight. I think it's midneyet@gmail.com. And that is the email address if you want to email her and let her know that you will be on, you'd like to be interested in the Madison meetup. So that is the other big change, which is cool. The other thing cool is our Discord server.
Yes, the Discord server was essential during PAX.
Oh my gosh.
South. It was fantastic because we could keep everybody updated on where we were, where they were, about the meetups. That's kind of how we coordinated getting my camera to Rue, and to getting all this stuff kind of cemented together was because of our Discord server, and it was awesome. It is so cool.
So if you want to come out and hang out with our friends at the Discord server, you can get that at tinyurl.com/tttchat2. Just a quick reminder about our Discord server, because we mention it on every show every time we get somebody new. So I figure it's a good reminder, because if you're new and you're listening and you want to join in the community, you can do that. tinyurl.com/tttchat2. All right. Let's get down to the business at hand.
Yeah, the business.
Let's do a show. Here we go.
Let's kick around some ideas, not gnomes.
This one is going to be one that's going to get me near and dear to the heart. Here we go. Hello, Jules and Mark Honan. First of all, I want to thank you for everything that you do for the community. My husband, son, and I listen to the podcast all the time, usually together, but sometimes on our own. I'm not really sure how to start this. I'm usually the person that comes to people for advice, support, or simply just someone to listen to them. I've always been that helper, and I don't really know how to ask for help myself. This past year has been a very difficult one, especially the last 2 months of 2015. I work full-time, go to school full-time, plus I have a family to raise. My husband goes to school full-time too, so as you can imagine, family time is at a premium. We have found a way that we can play WoW together as a family, and it allows us to fulfill several things at once. We have something that we can do together as a family. We can connect with all of our nerdy friends, and we can do something that we enjoy for a little while to de-stress from our work and school. That being said, we've had so many things happen in the past couple of months, I'm finding it really hard to cope with everything. It all started with moving to a new city for school and setting up with a new doctor. I had a few medical scares that turned out to be nothing, thank goodness. Then my 9-year-old had a severe stomach ache, took him to the ER. 3 hours later, he was having an emergency appendectomy. Then a week later, my husband had to go to the ER. They thought he was having a heart attack. I then had a filling fall out, my tooth cracked, and the dentist said they needed to pull it. 2 hours later, they couldn't get it numb enough, and I left with a partially extracted tooth and needed dental surgery the next day. It all seemed to be going well until 5 days later. My entire jaw swelled up, my throat became constricted, and I ended up with a fever over 104. I ended up spending Christmas Day in the ER. So within 4 weeks, all 3 of us had been in the ER. Then we got a huge snowstorm. We live in the desert, and the Monday after Christmas, about 4:45 in the morning, the ceiling in my son's room collapsed in on the top of him. He sleeps on a bunk bed, and flooded his room, ruining his mattress and about half of his Christmas presents. Thankfully, he's okay, and it was just material stuff that was damaged in the incident. All of this happened in about 6 weeks of time. I find myself emotionally and physically drained. Then to top it all off, my estranged biological dad has resurfaced after more than 30 years and wants to reconnect after his own near-death experience. Claims he's finally gotten his life together and his priorities straight. Several months ago, I agreed to let him come for a visit after the first of the year. He wanted to come for Christmas and stay for a couple of weeks. I just wasn't ready for that, so he flew in on January 1st and stayed for 1 week. During that time, I realized just how different we are, and I'm not sure that I will ever be able to have a loving, caring relationship with this man who abandoned me as an infant and let me down over and over again. I had written him completely out of my life, and now he's back. I just don't know how to deal with everything that's happened. I feel exhausted. Classes start up again tomorrow. I'm taking 5 classes this term. I have 1 more term to go after this one, and then I'll be done with my undergrad in sociology, hopefully starting grad school right after. I'm 40, so I feel though as time is of the essence, and I don't really have time for a break. In fact, I've gone to school every term, including summers, since returning to school in the summer of 2013. I'm finishing a 4-year degree in just over 3 years. My goal is to go into counseling, family therapy, or school psychology. I feel as though I should be able to work through these things on my own, but I'm struggling to hold things together. Thankfully, everything that has happened has turned out okay in the end, but I feel so on edge. What is going to happen next? Any thoughts or advice would be really appreciated. It's been a tough couple of months. Maybe simply hearing someone else's thoughts on everything will help. With love, from Ann-Will.
Well, I think I know the name of today's episode. When it rains, it pours.
Yes.
Good gracious.
Good gracious, indeed. This is... So, I look at the list of things that this family has endured. And the first thing I gotta say to you, Ann-Will, is that your comment at the end saying everything has turned out okay in the end, thankfully. That's what you said. And you're realizing, yes, everything turned out okay, but I'm waiting for the next shoe to drop because what else can I literally have dropped on me or my son? Like the ceiling, you know? And I feel so bad. I feel so bad for all the things you've gone through, but also give you a ton of credit for actually standing and just continuing on after all of it.
Well, definitely. This is it takes a really strong person to get through everything that you've gone through and still have enough positivity to say, we're okay. It's just material things. We're all still alive. My son's okay after the roof caved in, which is very scary. I mean, good. My boss had his roof in his living room, or not his roof because he's an apartment, but the apartment above him fell into his apartment.
What?
Yeah, the day that his second child was born. This was a few months ago.
Wow.
Like, yeah, his son was born, and then he went home to get a change of clothes for his wife, and he found his upstairs neighbor's living room in his living room. So,
oh my gosh.
It's one of those things.
I mean, thank goodness he wasn't at the house where everything fell.
Exactly. I mean, the baby was born that day, so no one was in the house or the apartment. So it was just one of those things. It was a happy circumstance. If it was going to happen, I'm glad it happened then. And it's kind of just one of those things. But to go through everything you guys have gone through, I mean, you guys have a lot on your plate already. Full-time school for both of you. You haven't had a break since 2013, and man, to say that you've got some strength with you already.
Yeah. So the big thing in this whole equation to me is that there are a ton of things in here that you cannot control.
Mm-hmm.
Sickness, illness, bad weather, your house, just your ceiling caving in, Christmas presents being ruined. All of that stuff is just stuff you cannot control. It just happens. You don't have say on whether it happens or not, and that's what it is. But your estranged father coming back into your life is something that I think could be there's control there that I think could have been helped. And I get the whole situation of I promised that he could come stay with us after New Year's. But I'm wondering, Anwil, if you have a problem with saying no.
That's a good point.
Because a lot of the things in your life you've said yes to, like, yes, I'm going to go back to school. Yes, I'm going to work 40 hours a week. Yes, my husband is also going to go to school and work 40 hours a week. We've said yes to all of these things. And then you take into the factor of the things that you cannot change, which is life, and that happens. But when you have someone who tries to interfere in your life, again, who hasn't been a part of your life as long as your estranged father has, you're 40 years old, so he's been absent from your life for most of that time. That's a long period of time. And so he comes out of a near-death experience and says, I want to reconcile because I want to make amends with what I want here. But what about you?
Yeah.
And I know this sounds selfish, but yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, you do have to take that into consideration. Let's see here.
I feel like she's doing all of these things. There's a lot of things that she's doing for herself, which is to go back to school and to take care of her family and, stay working so that they can support the family and that they're trying to balance their family time. But and again, I know this sounds selfish, but when you're doing all of those kinds of things in our lives, when we take on responsibilities and we take on so much, and then we feel like we can't say no to someone else who is trying to intercede in your plans, why do we have such a problem with saying no?
I'm not sure I know because I have the exact same problem. I mean,
because it's obligation.
Yeah, because you're as you're reading this letter, I have a lot in common with Anwil in these ways. So it's hard for me to say no because I don't want to let anybody down. If and there's I have all these reasons why I don't want to say no. So I mean I don't know if I can answer that one. I'm kind of in the middle of it myself.
Well, let me put it this way for you.
Yeah,
you're a responsible adult. You pay your bills. You go to your job. You make sure that you are a responsible, financially, you're responsible. You're not in, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. You're not shirking on your payments. You're following through with the rules of the things that you are committed to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of being a
Right.
responsible adult in this life. So is Ann will. She has then said, I'm going to better my life by going into getting all of this schooling and going out and furthering my career, which is going to take sacrifice. And it's going to take sacrifice on the part of my husband and my child. And so there's a balancing act that comes into that. When you say you're going to sacrifice certain things to be able to accomplish goals for the future, you don't take into account the fact that your ceiling's going to fall in on your son. Things are going to happen and things are going to happen. But when you then have a family member who has never shown any sense of responsibility towards her and constantly let her down, as she said, has never been a part of her life, has suddenly dealt with his own personal experience that has brought him to the table to say, I need to make amends to make myself feel better.
Well, it may not be only for selfish reasons. It could be he realized, how much he let her down, and he wants to, you can't make up for it. You can't make up for 3 decades worth of, letdown, but.
Isn't that selfish though?
Well, if you want to do it if you want to apologize for what you've done and try to you can't start fresh, but to make a change course right there and say, that's not, it is selfish, but not exclusively selfish, because he realized what he did and he saw her and he wants to do better. But then again, he stayed for a week and she said they're just not compatible. She doesn't know. And that's okay. That's what happens when you're not, people change over the course of a year, let alone 30 years. So, you guys probably aren't compatible, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Going forward, you might not see him, every birthday or Christmas or Father's Day or whatever, but, at least you can walk away saying, at least, because I don't know what transpired between you guys there, but, in my mind, when I think of that, I think, at least he tried. At least, go ahead.
I got to say this because it's bugging the crap out of me.
Okay.
He resurfaced after 30 years of not being involved in her life, wanted to come for Christmas and stay for a couple of weeks. Have you had someone come to your house that you haven't spent any time with in 30 years come stay at your house for a couple of weeks and feel good about that?
Well, no, that is pretty. I agree there that's a bit of a stretch. Usually you start with, hey, do you want to go meet somewhere in a neutral space?
Thank you.
Absolutely. I agree with you there. That is a bit heavy because you're kind of just throwing him into your life for, day and night for a week while you've got everything you've got going on. You just recovered from dental surgery, all these other things are going on, Christmas is, the presents are ruined a little bit, and
even if that didn't happen, it's freaking Christmas. Like, it's a hectic time for people, and then to have a house guest from a father that you haven't seen for 30 years to say, "I'm going to come stay here." Talk about a level of expectation and stress that you don't need.
Yeah, definitely. You're definitely piling on the stress with this, but like we said, a lot of it you couldn't help.
Yeah. And, I know that I'm picking on that one specifically, but the thing is that you're dealing with 2 types of stress. You're dealing with the things you can control and the things that you cannot. And the things that you could control in this respect is the relationship with your father. And to take that stress out of your life, I think would have been helpful. And it's just, obviously, it's past and she's having struggles with dealing with all of this. But my point is that you need to look at it from a perspective, and of saying, there are things in my life that I have elected to do. We've always made choices in our lives to get to where we are today. Whether or not you feel like you have a choice, you always have a choice. It's like, I hate my job. I don't want to work at this job. I hate this job. It's stupid. I hate going to this job. Well, people will say, well, you can quit. No, I can't quit because I won't have any money then. but you could. There's always a choice. You just say it's not a choice because it's not a good choice for what you want to do. It's just looking at it. You've always got choices. You've always made choices. And so when it comes to an obligation like this for a parent, you can make the choice to say no.
Yeah, you can. And it you know, and going forward, you can think about that, you know, especially if there's no, if you've already got enough on your plate, you know, like, hey, it's not a good time. No, you know, so if there's too much going on at the house, you know, I just, it's too much stress. And, you know, hopefully he would understand that.
And we hope. I would say for her empowerment to be, you know, and I know this is hard and I know this is so difficult for a lot of people to do, is to say to him the toughest thing you can say is that I'm not ready to have you stay with me for a week after I haven't seen you for 30 years. Perhaps we can do something that is more in line with what I need versus what you think you want. And it sounds like he probably came to stay from out of town, so it was probably some travel involved and a longer stay because he was coming from far away. But you know what? That's not your problem.
No. You're right. It wasn't your problem at all. And I guess that's kind of what we're getting at is, you know, it doesn't do you any good to stress about things you can't control, which is something I struggle with sometimes.
Don't we all though?
Yeah, we all do. And as much as as bad as it is that these things are happening, you kind of just have to kind of roll with it. I mean, you still stress about, you know, all the things that are going on, but you can't let it, you know, you shouldn't let it control as much of your stress because, you know, yeah, it is, these things do happen, but you are still seeing on the positive side of it. And that's, you know, maybe concentrating on the positives of it can help. What do you think?
Well, I feel like, yes, but at a certain point, it's okay if you need to get mad about it. It's okay if you need to cry about it. It's okay if you need to just say, I just need to take a day where I don't do anything and I don't have my, you know, and I'm going to plan it. I don't have class this day. I've been working tons of hours. I'm pushing myself so hard to get done with this coursework. You know, moving in from graduating for and going right into into grad school, give yourself maybe a break to look forward to or something that you can give yourself permission to do, right? It doesn't all have to be done right frickin' now. And sometimes it's okay to get mad, to get sad, to cry, to get angry. Go outside and scream at the top of your lungs if you just need to get it out of you. I've driven in my car and screamed at the top of my lungs, driving out in the in where there's nothing else out there, just to get the emotion out. And it helps because we overcommit ourselves. We push ourselves hard to think that we have to stand up to a certain standard for ourselves, for other people. And this is what happens. You get resentful of yourself. You get resentful of other people. You know, why me? Why is this happening to me? There isn't an answer for why all three of you show up at the ER within a 3-week time span. That's just freaking bad luck.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's how I see it, is just, you know, she's doing a great job rolling with the punches, but there's other things that, you know, when it becomes to be too much, it's okay to say it's too much. It's okay to be running, and then sit down and breathe for a minute because you've been running so hard you forgot to breathe.
Yeah, and one way you could do that is take, I don't know exactly, what does it say exactly when she's going to graduate with her undergrad? No, it doesn't say exactly when.
She has one more term to go after this one, and then she'll be done. So it's this term in the spring, and then another one in the fall, and then so it'd be about a year, roughly.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to see if there was any way you could fit in a break in there between undergrad and graduate. I know it's generally not thought to be a good idea to do that, but I mean, maybe
a week.
A week, yeah.
Just give yourself a week vacation.
Yeah, and if you graduate in the like, I guess in December, usually the graduations are in like early to mid December. and then the classes start out like later in January. So you've got a couple of weeks. I mean, if you can do it, relax.
Yeah.
Don't do anything. I mean, or do Christmas away. It doesn't even have to be like an expensive vacation. I mean, you can go just like to the next town over or something that could be kind of cheap to do, and just to get away from it and breathe.
Yeah.
Just the three of you, and just have fun without all the other things. Don't think about them, just for that week or however long, and just relax and try to just even it out,
Yeah. And just know
breathe.
that life is going to toss you stuff that you don't expect. And then it's a matter of standing up to it and saying, how am I going to do that? And to realize, again, you always have choices. They may not feel like the most enjoyable things in the world, but you do have choices. And if it feels like it's just one more thing being piled on your plate that can you say no to that?
Mm-hmm.
Can you say it's not a good time? Or can you say it's not something I'm interested in doing right now, without feeling guilty, without feeling obligated, all of those things. And I'm guilty of this. I do this all the time to myself. I overload myself, and then I'm like, I wish I could take a break. And then I'm like, well, you idiot, you did this to yourself. Because you said yes to this, and you said yes to this, and you said yes to that. And suddenly you're wishing that you could just have a night where you could just sit and watch Netflix all night. Well, then freaking do it. Give yourself that time,
Carve it out.
Right. So, obviously, I'm going to always say this. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like you just don't have the handle on it, please, please, please look into counseling, look into support that way. Call your doctor. If it gets to be too much, you need help.
And especially if you're getting your undergrad in sociology and you're wanting to get into counseling, usually the schools will have counseling sessions that are free.
Yeah.
Because you're a student, and that's something you can definitely take advantage of.
As a life coach, they tell you, as a coach, you should always have a coach. As a psychologist or a sociologist, you should always have a therapist. You should. Because you can't do the job without having someone help you do the job. And so
there must always be a master and an apprentice.
That's right. So I'm seeing my coach on Tuesday. I was supposed to see her on Monday. She got sick. But you know what? That's what I do, and that's what you should do as well. And it's something that, there's no shame in it. You need to make sure that your head is clear to be able to do the work that you plan to do to help other people, because you are someone who is trying to help others. But if you're not in that space, you're no good to anybody in that way. So anything else on this one before we move on?
Maybe lucky rabbit's foot, or a lucky horseshoe above the door, or there's got to be something to help give you some good luck. I wish you the best of luck, absolutely.
Yeah.
Both to you and your husband for getting through school, because that's no joke. My wife just got through grad school last year, and that was rough.
Yeah.
The amount of work you have to do, especially in grad school, is crazy.
It's crazy.
But I know you've got some high goals, and you're doing awesome at it. Just keep at it. And when you think you've had too much, reach out to those that can help. And we're glad you reached out to us so we could bring this up to everybody, and to kind of bring it out in the open. And I wish the best for you, and wish you best of luck with finishing up and everything.
Agreed. And so if you guys have your comments that you'd like to share for Anwil, you can send them to questions@taurenThinkTank.com. That's our email address. And if you have any specific comments for Anwil herself, we can absolutely forward them on to her. We do that all the time. So that is something we can do for you guys as well. All right. And now it is time to move into our think tank question, which is right now.
Tauren between options? Let Triple T help you sort it out.
It's Think Tank time, and this is the almighty segment of the show where we come up with a question or a dilemma. This dilemma is about friendships falling out. Here we go. Hello, Jules and Marconin. I'm a 30-year-old female, off and on WoW player, been a big fan of your show since the beginning. There are so many stories I loved listening to unfold and love the support community provided to each other, and I was hoping yourselves and the community could help me with my predicament too. A while ago, October 2015, I fell out with friends in real life. A bit of background story. Last year in the summer, me and my 2 girlfriends were at the airport boarding a flight to go to Spain to celebrate a friend's birthday. I received a phone call from my brother saying he and Mum were in an accident. In the end, I was so worried for my family, it didn't feel right for me to go have fun when my family was suffering. Instead, I said goodbye to the girls and tried to get out of the airport. Mom and Dad were fine, or Mom and brother were fine. Mom suffered shock and some pains in her body from the impact, and my brother was also shocked, but he was a lot more together. I had 1 to 2 texts from the girls asking how everything was with the family, but that was about it. When everything settled, I contacted the airlines to help with the refund. Tried to do the same with the hotel, but as another friend booked it, I never managed to get details from her to try to claim. I approached the subject of getting some money back from the girls for the airport parking. I asked if I could have some of the money back as it cost me so much to get back to my friends. We also booked some bus tours the night before, and I asked if I could keep that money as well. That was around $35. Boy, did this start a storm. We all got into heated arguments over money. I could see their point, but it was my choice not to go, but I just thought that they'd find it in their heart to help me. To add to it, I had more sympathy from the airline company who had reimbursed my money. We had heated arguments over money, past history, how I helped them when they needed it, but they didn't see that. Both got really angry with me. We ended that there, and I left all the chat groups where conversations took place. I started thinking back about how I felt about friendships and how I felt left out from the group. Over the years, it was more politeness, less talking and sharing. I would share, but the girls wouldn't come to me to talk or share. I would be the last to know if something was happening. Last year, I got engaged. I didn't even get a card from them. Plus, my fiance thinks that they are just drama and that I was right in leaving the group, although he is biased, so maybe I should take that with a pinch of salt. More than I think about it, I feel like I'm justifying what happened, and it was for a reason that wasn't friendship and wasn't real friendship. It's not nice to have fought, but would friendship eventually fizzle out? I'm not sure what's worse. Either my stubbornness or maybe my pride stopped me, but deep down, I didn't want to save it. Over 2 to 3 years, it was going downhill. I didn't feel like it was real friendship anymore, but I'm struggling to let go and forget about it. I'm hurt by losing friends and afraid that I don't have other friends than those girls. I'm an introvert. I can't connect with people and generally want to be left alone. I'm functioning in work environments, and I have work friends and acquaintances. Recently, I fell out with another friend that's unrelated to this group. She complains that I don't keep in touch, and maybe brashly said that was why it was an issue for her. I return her texts, and we get together to catch up, and she wanted more to stay in touch, not just catch-ups. I said if she was going to turn that into an issue, then we were going to have problems. We're still friends, but it cooled down, and she's made new friends now who she and her husband have had over for dinner. I saw Facebook pics, and they didn't invite us. I need some advice on why I can't let go of both situations. Is it guilt or shame why I can't let go of them? I'm ruining my relationships and my friendships. For a person who doesn't make friends easily, I certainly am failing to keep them. But I acted on how I felt, should I not have been true to myself? From Katie Derry. Katie Derry is our generic female anonymous name, by the way.
Like Jane Doe.
Like Jane Doe. But it's Katie Derry because that's what the viewers picked. So,
yep.
There we go.
Dairy like cows, like dairy cows, because moo.
I guess moo. Okay. So Katie, she is struggling with lost friendships and friendships that haven't sustained. What do you think? Because I was reading a big old long letter.
Well, I think for the first one, money is the root of all evil and sucks, but it's a necessity. It's a necessary evil, and I can understand both sides of the money issue with going on your trip. I mean, of course, don't go on your trip when your family is when this accident happens. But sometimes I'm kind of thinking, I don't know the financial situation of anybody, but maybe it was that they didn't think that they needed to cover the costs that you had. I know you said that you think that they should find it in their hearts. Well, you can't assume that, unfortunately. I like to hope for the best. I know people don't think like I do. I mean, I've been in situations where I would think, well, if it was me, I would have reacted this way. And I would appreciate if people would act nicely and be kind to me in the same way I'm always kind to them. And I always have to think, well, that's not how everybody thinks. That's not how everybody works. Some people, and it may not be that they're jerks about it. It may just be that that's the way they function. So it's, I don't know. I'm thinking that, trying to think if there's a link between the two, and since she is an introvert, but I'm trying to see how those may be connected. Because I mean I know you're saying before there were always kind of issues with it. Let's see here.
Well, I think you're hitting on something very, very good. And I don't think that these two situations are related, except for the fact that they're sharing her.
The same person, yeah.
Right. So when I think, I don't know why this is popping into my head, but it is. So you have to ride with me on this.
Sure.
Have you ever seen the movie Muriel's Wedding?
No, I haven't.
Okay, sorry for the people. I'm kind of obsessed with Muriel's Wedding. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And the basis behind it is that there's this girl named Muriel, and she is one of those girls that just doesn't have anybody who likes her because she's weird and awkward and all these things. But she tries to be friends with these like 3 or 4 really popular girls. And what she would do is she would just show up whenever they were there at the bar, and they would just pretend that she was not there. Like they would just kind of, she was there, but she wasn't there. And they were planning a trip, and they didn't tell her about it, but she was sitting right there at the time. And she's like, wait, you're going to this island? And they're like, oh yeah, we didn't think you could go because you couldn't afford it. Like they were just basically ignoring her, and she didn't get the point. She didn't get the hint. And this is what I keep thinking of when I'm reading this letter, that these girls were not that interested in you in the first place. And I don't mean this to be mean, Katie, but if there's someone who cares about you and your well-being, and your family just got injured in a car accident, like I know for me, and I speak from my own experience, I would be like, what do you need? What can I do for you? $35, I'd be happy to give that to you. It's like, that's nothing compared to your pain and suffering. I just want you to be okay. If this would help you out and make you feel better, can I drive you there? Obviously they were going on the trip and she was leaving, but I know that if it was someone that I cared about, I would just be like, what can I do for you? And when she brings up the money, it felt like a really convenient excuse for them to say, well, you did this and you did that and you did this. It was just like this cover story for a much larger issue.
Yeah, and probably a pre-existing, and one that they'd been kind of keeping on the, on the back burner until they got this reason to just let it all out.
And that to me feels like what it is. So
yeah,
whether or not, I mean, who's to blame here? There's no way that Mark Honan and I can tell you that. But it sounds like it is a matter of a lack of communication between them and you. And to tell you that they're just, we're just not that into you anymore, but not, quitting before leaving and not leaving. And I'm not saying that you were hanging on and doing that. I just feel like it's just this feeling of, we didn't have the courage to tell you that this wasn't something we wanted to continue doing together. And, you shared all this stuff, and we didn't feel like we wanted to bond with you in that way. And most of us, when we have friendships that are, lost by attrition, they're lost by attrition because we just stopped talking to each other.
Yeah. I mean, and you will have friends that go in and out of your life. Absolutely. And sometimes they go out with a whimper, sometimes they go out with a bang. Yeah. I've had both happen.
I agree. And the thing about it is that, she's blaming herself as saying, I'm an introvert. I prefer to be alone most of the time. So you have pretty significant standards for how you want to interact with people.
Yeah.
And when they don't match to someone else, that's nobody's fault.
Yeah. That's just different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
You have different expectations.
Marconan and I are good friends. Like when we were at PAX, like that last night, we talked for like, what was it, like 3 hours as
Well, at least 3 hours, yeah.
And and we just talked and talked and talked and we talked until we fell asleep. Like we just did that because that's how our friendship works. And we're just, we're very compatible. We just found like, we were like the best roommates because we liked the same things in the way that the room was, and we could just, it just worked. And that's lucky. Because there's so many people in this world, and there's so many different types of people in this world, and the chances of finding someone that matches to what you need and what you want out of a relationship is rare. And if you're not the kind of person who can be friends with everybody and nothing bothers you, and you're just like, let's move from one friendship to the next. I mean, those people, the people who can flit from one group of people to the next group of people and they're energized by it. Those are the extroverts. They are getting energy from all the people in the room, and you're the introvert who's sitting in the corner feeling better being on the corner. Maybe there's a cat nearby that you can pet.
Yep. I've had that happen. I go to a party where I only know like 2 out of the 25 people, but they have a cat.
And look, there's an animal to take my attention from from having to interact with people, and there's a cat. And so there's nothing wrong with you. It's just who you are. Right? And so
that being said, though, friendships do take work.
Yes.
They do take work. I mean, sometimes parts of it you don't like, parts of it, it may not be the ideal thing that you want to do, but it's kind of like down here in the South, if you own a truck, you pretty much signed on to help your friends move. I mean, that's a given.
Is that like an unwritten rule?
Yeah, if you have a pickup truck, it's pretty much you're gonna get borrowed by your friends to help you move. I have friends like they have trucks, and they help me move, and I help them move with that truck, and it's just one of those things where you might not like every single aspect about the friendship, but overall it's a positive thing. And it's nothing, I'm not saying if it's bad things like they're constantly beating you down, like they think they're just joshing you with little jabs because that's how they interact with people. If they make fun of you, that's because they care. But if you don't like that, then that's one thing. That's too far.
Yeah.
But if it's occasionally they'll text you or say, "Hey, do you want to go do this?" Well, maybe I don't want to go to the bookstore today, but they're really having a bad week, and why not? Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. So you do make sacrifices for your friends because it's a good friendship is like any other good relationship. There's give and take.
Yeah.
And you can't. It's hard to be friends with someone who has their set of rules. Like, oh, you're going to be my friend. I am this, and this, and I expect this, and this from you, or we're not friends.
Read that line in the email where it says, if she wanted to stay in touch and not just catch-ups, and if that was going to be an issue, I said, then we were going to have problems.
And you did have problems.
And it's,
because
great
there's
to be
no
blunt,
flexibility there.
Right, but you're saying this is where I draw the line. She's saying this is where I draw the line, and you're at an impasse.
Exactly, and your lines aren't overlapping, so you're gonna have problems. You're not gonna be friends if this is the case.
Yeah,
you've got to be a little fluid because you're dealing with another imperfect, flawed human being, and we screw up. There's days when my lifelong friends that they would make me mad, or something would happen, or I didn't want to do that, or we'd have an argument. But it's you build your friendship stronger than that, and you've got to have a little bit of give and take and fluidity with it, and you've got to be able to bend a little bit.
Yeah, and every friendship is different.
Yes.
Every friendship, every relationship, there's no standard formula to say, this is what makes a best friend. This is what makes a good friend. This is what makes an acquaintance. You can probably throw them into categories based on what you have, but I could take a group of people that I would consider to be acquaintances, and then all of them are different. And then there's a group of people who I'd consider friends, and they're all different. And then the really good friends, they're all different. And my relationship with them is different. And I have different standards for what I deem to be okay in terms of a friendship. Like, if I send a text to someone and they never respond to me, then I'm just like, well, I guess that's not a friendship. Okay, done. Like that's the standard that I'm going to set. If you send a text to someone and they take a day to respond to you, okay, well, that's how my relationship with this person is. I've accepted that. And when they get back to me, they get back to me, that's great. And then I have other people where it's like, they send me a message or I send them a message. It's like, where are you? Why haven't you responded? I need your answer. What's going on? And so they're all different. And if you're kind of coming into it saying, this is the level of friendship that I expect from everybody, this is how you interact with me, because this is how I'm going to interact with you, there's no fluidity there at all.
Mm-hmm. No, and that's what it takes to have a relationship with somebody else. Is there's got to be that bend, little give and take. You got to be a little fluid with it. Being an introvert is fine and dandy. I have, one of my best friends, Rayanne's kind of very introverted, but we don't talk every day, but we talk every few days, or we'll text, or I'll talk to her on Twitter, and it's fine. There's you can still be friends with somebody, but as long as, I don't know, it's just it's hard to be friends with someone who's got these strict rules, because then it's not a friendship, it's a contract.
Well, and then you got to ask yourself why you have these strict rules.
Yeah.
Why do you keep these strict rules about this? If you don't meet me at the levels that I expect you to meet me at, then I don't feel like you're being a good friend to me. Where does that come from? Where is the levels of trust coming in? And I know we're being kind of aggressive on this, Katie, but I think that you're feeling guilty about some of these relationships, and part of it is you, and part of it is them.
Yeah.
And so, the situation with the girls, I say it's probably best that you got out of that.
Yeah, I think that was probably going south anyway, and that if friends can't work out things like this, and at least come to a
understanding,
a peaceful disagreement and understanding about the money thing, because then that's okay. You can build your friendship stronger than that. But yeah, I think that situation, you're better off without them.
Yeah.
In that way. But I can, and I kind of think about the friends who had they had their other friends over for dinner and didn't invite you guys. Well, that's the same person that you said, we're going to have problems if you're not this way. You'd already cut in that divide. You'd already put that empty space between you two. And so I don't fault them at all for not inviting you. Nothing personal against you, but I mean, if you're not doing the give and take, then why invite somebody over who's not going to meet them halfway?
Yeah, and it really just feels like you two wanted different things in a friendship, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. But don't hold it against somebody that they didn't invite you if you guys aren't compatible. Mm-hmm. Because it's not their responsibility to do that.
The thing about it is that you have to remember that as an introvert, you are not doomed to never making friends again. It's just a little bit more challenging for you to meet people because you feel more comfortable in a smaller, more tight-knit group. You don't feel comfortable when you meet somebody new for the first time. It feels awkward and uncomfortable because you got to make small talk. You got to kind of suss out if this person is the type of person that you'd want to talk to. It takes work and effort and energy. You're exhausted after it's done. And, so I get it. I get the feeling that you're like, I'm pretty much just not making friends easily, and it's just always going to be this way. But from a desire to accomplish comes accomplishment. Mm-hmm. If you want to find some friends, then go to places and do things that you feel comfortable in. If that's World of Warcraft, if it's playing a different game, heck, if it's going to something like PAX or a local meetup or something like that, meetup.com for something like that that's coming together. Come to the Well Played Movie meetup in June. Do
or
something.
even smaller stuff like a local book club. I'm not saying all introverts are bookworms, but if you like to read and you like to kind of that calm quiet, go to a book club, or hey, was very introverted when I was younger, but I played card games, played Magic the Gathering and the Pokemon card game. And so I went to bookstores that would have weekly, Friday Night Magic. They had the games. And so I made friendships with people there because we had a similar interest. We already had something to build upon. And that makes it a lot easier to make a friend, is to go where your interests are, and where other people who have the similar interests can go. I mean, that's how it works for a lot of people. So that's one way you could kind of go with it.
Yeah. Join a Discord server, somebody that's, everybody's got them now. If you like a certain group of people, join the Discord server and hang out and listen to them talk. And, if you think there's someone who's making some cool comments, you can just say, I like what you're saying, and sometimes you'll just lurk and you'll read everything in there. I'm such a lurker in a lot of stuff. Like, I read Reddit all the time, but I never post, but I watch stuff. And sometimes if something really resonates with me and I really like what it's saying, then, I kind of watch what that person has to say. It's, it's just something that happens. But I just think that you're selling yourself tremendously short by saying, I'm an introvert, therefore I will never make friends. Because that's not true. So that in itself is probably where some mindset shifts are going to happen, and just kind of come together to say, I need to know if I really want to make some friends, it's maybe a little bit more flexibility in what I'm looking for. And if someone seems really nice and you're having a good time chatting, just keep chatting with them and don't have huge expectations about this is what it should be to make it a good friendship. And if it's not this way, then I'm not going to be comfortable. But if you're not comfortable, it's okay to say you're not comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, and if the friends respect your comfort level, they can work with it and work around it. See, we're talking about fluidity again.
Yeah.
So I would say, bend your rules a little bit. You never know what might happen if you let a little bit. Whoo, tongue tied.
Little bit.
It's another show title. Just a bunch of L's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just let a little bit of your rules bend and see where it takes you.
Yeah.
Find people with, listen to people with similar interests and see where it goes. I think you'll find it's easier than you think it is to make friends as an introvert. You just got to find other people, that are like you,
Yeah. And remembering that you are most comfortable being, behind your tribe. You are most comfortable being in a smaller group of people that isn't too overwhelming and feels more comfortable and allows you time to adjust to the situation to feel like you can talk. And that's okay. That's all right. So, and if you don't feel comfortable, it's okay to act on that and to say, but you can't beat yourself up over it, nor can you fault them for moving on if that's the case.
Yeah.
So,
friends come and go sometimes, that's just how it works.
It does. It's part of the life. And I've always looked at it to say that a friend has come into my life but left because they were supposed to teach me something. They were supposed to be there for some reason. And they've taught me that lesson, or I've, experienced what I needed to experience, and they've moved on and I've moved on. And instead of wallowing in the fact that I'm sad that this is over, to look at it and say, this is what helped me learn. So that's how I look at it. So, Katie, thank you so much for your letter. If you guys have thoughts, experiences that are similar to hers that you'd like to share, questions at TaurenThinkTank.com. That is how you find us.
Best of luck to you, Katie.
Hey, Mark Honan.
Yes.
So we're going to do something fun tonight, aren't we?
We'll see.
We are bumping Tell Us One Thing this week for a taste tank.
Yes.
Drum roll, please. From Mochteld, who sent us a wonderful box of goodies from England and Iceland. She sent us so much stuff. Holy crap. We would never be able to try all this on the show. So we sat down and we picked out 5 things.
Oh, Lordy.
That are probably going to be the most amusing things to try on the show because, let's face it, you like to watch us try weird stuff and not good stuff. So that's what we did.
Makes for better television.
It makes for better television. So thank you so much. She sent us both boxes of these stuff. Carefully packaged, separated out, like totally organized. You're so cool.
And
Thank you so
wonderful
much.
penmanship on the letter too.
Oh,
that
and
was
a
really
super
cool.
sweet letter.
A
And
really cool letter.
yeah.
Thank you.
So we're gonna start with
Oh,
one from Iceland. We're gonna start with this piggy thing.
the
The
Mondler?
Mondler.
Mondler. Okay.
Yeah,
I was this one may be the best tasting out of all of them. Maybe
that's why we're starting with it.
Oh man, no release.
No release.
Okay.
We're gonna start with the good, and we're gonna go towards the questionable. I will say
Okay.
though, I opened this box up, and I don't know where he is right now. Garrus is in the other room. But when I opened this box up, and I pulled out the bag from Iceland, and I smelled something very pungent in that bag. Garrus came flying into the bedroom and was in that box within seconds. And I'm like, oh, crap. Oh, crap.
What is in here that he wants that I am going to eat?
And then I
Oh,
realized what it was, and I don't know if we're going to have to try this thing, and I don't
Yeah.
want to.
yeah, we're gonna see how that goes.
Yes. Okay, so the first thing we're going to try is something called Mondlure. They're these pink candy-looking things, and apparently there looks like to be chocolate.
Yeah.
It looks to be chocolate on the inside. So there's little pink things, like little pink pellets. Ooh, unexpectedly just got the Crazy Cat Lady title. Good job, girl. All right. So are we trying this pink one?
Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and do that. Let me get one out.
Oh, that has a
myself.
weird smell. Unless it has the
All
smell
right.
from the other stuff.
That is a weird smell. It might be from the other stuff though.
It smells like fish.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. It might be from the other stuff.
I hope it doesn't taste like it too. This is weird.
I know. All right.
So it has the feel of like a raisinette.
Yes.
But
a big raisinette.
or like a jelly bean and a raisinette. It's kind of slippery a little bit. Not slippery, but it's like there's like a candy coating
It's definitely
on it. So
a candy
it's
coating.
slick.
Tasia70 said, "You do realize these are cat snacks, right?" No, they're not. They're not, right?
I hope not. There's no like cat paws on the picture or anything like that.
Oh, man. All right, let's try this thing.
All right, here we go.
Oh, it's chewy. Oh, weird. Oh, what is that? Oh,
That is different. I don't know what that is.
it tastes... It's like root beer and not root beer. It's buttery.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just different.
I don't know about that.
It's strong. I don't know what this is. Is there any words that might be comparable to English on the package?
No, everything is in not this language.
In a not this language.
In a not this language. Everything. No, there's no way. Oh wait. There's English. Sugar, glucose syrup, vegetable fat, whole milk, licorice extract. Okay.
Oh, licorice. Okay.
I hate licorice. That's why I taste. I'm like, ooh, I don't know, but it doesn't taste
Icelandic,
strong
yeah.
like licorice.
No, it's not bad, but man, it's strong.
It is strong. Okay, that's
My
a
breath smells
probably.
funky.
I know my breath does smells funky.
It's going to smell worse by the end of this.
I'll finish the thing though.
Yeah. I just ate the whole thing. I thought
It's
about
kind of like a caramel.
Yeah. It's not too sweet though.
I got to keep these in bags so the cats don't get them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depending on one of them, I may feed them to the cats.
I know.
We shall see.
We're doing that last, by the way.
Okay.
Okay. Drink
Water
some water.
break.
Okay. The next thing we're going to try. This is a bag from England. Jacob's Mini Cheddar's Branston pickle flavor baked with real cheese.
Okay. I like cheese.
I like cheese.
I do not like pickles.
You don't like pickles?
I hate pickles.
Did I not know this?
I don't guess so. Yeah, sandwiches. Well, I will eat a fried pickle, but it's fried, and there's usually ranch dressing with it, so that kind of masks it. But yeah, I don't like pickles. I don't like sour food. Like, okay, sauerkraut. I do like sauerkraut.
I don't like
But that's
sauerkraut. I
about
like
it.
pickles. Oh, these
don't
are
like sauerkraut?
biscuits. Look at them.
They're like tiny little. They almost look like big Ritz crackers.
They look
Or
like Ritz crackers. Little
or
tiny.
like they're like halfway between the Ritz bits and regular Ritz crackers.
All right, taking one out of the bag because they were already open since she had to split them up between us.
Yeah.
It does look like a little mini Ritz cracker, and they smell pretty good. Okay,
Yeah.
let's give it a shot. Here we go.
All right, here we go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that cheddar.
Oh my
is
god,
good.
I would eat the whole bag.
Yeah, yeah. That one.
You can. Yeah, those are awesome.
I don't really taste pickle.
I
Do you?
A little bit at the end
Maybe a little bit.
when you start to swallow.
I may.
Oops.
You took a left turn there, folks.
Sorry.
Let me get this right back on the road.
I realized what I said after I said it.
Yeah. Yeah, these are good.
I like these.
These are pretty good. It's not a very like strong pickle taste, so but the cheddar is good. Like it tastes
it's
like
very cheesy.
It tastes like like those little Ritz bits with the cheese in the middle. That's
yeah.
you don't get the very very strong cheese, but it's close. Like yeah, I would eat a whole bag of those.
I would eat those. Okay. The next
Okay,
thing
now we're getting into some weird territory.
Now we're getting into the weird territory. McCoy's Ridge Cut Sizzling King Prawn Potato Crisps.
Prawns. We call them shrimp.
Shrimp potato chips, guys.
Yeah, we've tried that before. We tried something
Doesn't
like
smell
that.
bad. It doesn't smell bad, thank goodness.
No, I can smell the shrimp a little bit.
Okay. So this is the real McCoy's.
Yeah, I'm with you unexpectedly. I don't like cucumbers either. I hate cucumbers.
Oh, I love cucumbers.
Gross.
Oh, I love them.
Ugh.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Let's try one of these potato chips. Let me get a good one. I gotta get a good size one. Hang on.
I got a decent sized one.
Okay.
They look like Ruffles
Yep.
because they have ridges.
They don't smell weird.
No.
Fire away. Let's do it.
All right.
Tastes like a potato chip.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not very strong.
It's sweet. There's a sweet taste to it, kind of like a barbecue-y sweet.
Yeah, I mean it tastes
I don't
like,
taste shrimp
like,
at all.
No.
I'd eat those.
Did you swap out the bags? Are these like KC Masterpiece or something we have here in the States? I think you swapped out the bag.
So basically, prawn is barbecue in England.
It does taste like barbecue.
Doesn't it? They're good. I like these. I'd eat that. There's so much crap.
Yeah.
Crap. It's not crap. There's so much good stuff in these boxes. I'm going to be eating sweet stuff for a week. And
Yeah.
I'm going to love it. We've got all the savory stuff here.
Did I tell you that I got accosted by Girl Scouts on the way back from PAX?
No. Where?
Yeah, outside of Austin, I stopped to get something to drink at a gas station, and I was walking in. There's a little table outside, like 3 Girl Scouts and their moms, or some of their, den mother or whatever they are. And this little cute girl was like, "Excuse me, sir, would you like to get some Girl Scout cookies?" And I was just walking in, and I was like, "No, sorry, I'm okay, I'm all right." So I get in there and I get something to drink and I get a snack and I walk around, and that's where I got the picture of those pickled quail eggs that I sent you.
Oh, yeah.
And as I was leaving, I see Thin Mints and I'm like, "Ah, dang it." And then she asks me again, like halfway through it, the mom was like, "No, she already talked to," and I was hooked. I was sold. I was like, "Okay, you're too sweet. I'll take 3 boxes." So
Thin Mints for the win.
yeah. I got 3 different kinds.
All right, bring it on.
All right, I gotta get some water.
Get some water. The next bag we're going to try is a bag of Mr. Trotter's Great British Pork Cracklins. I don't think I've ever had pork rinds in my life.
I have never had pork rinds before.
You live in the South. How can you not have had pork rinds?
It's pig skin. It's pig skin that's fried. I don't know.
Don't you
I like
eat chicken skin?
Well, yeah, but that's because it's KFC. You can get it everywhere, and I had it as a child, and I liked it, and it was delicious.
Turkey
But I don't know about pork rinds.
Well, we're trying them now.
We are. And you can tell it's British because he's got the British flag as a shirt.
He's
This
a
little
British
pig.
flag as a shirt.
He's a proper British gentleman with a tie.
They don't smell weird either.
Okay, I need to crack them open then.
Crack them open. Triple cooked for a crispier crunch.
Wow.
Yeah.
It smells
okay.
different.
It does smell different.
Got a big whiff of it.
Crackling's made with
it filled my
100% prime
sinuses.
British pork skin from the finest British pigs.
Wait, where does this?
On the back of the bag. Oh, I got a big one. Look at that.
Oh, I can't see it. Which one is it?
Oh, sorry. There.
Oh, yeah.
Pull that sucker out of the bag. Let's do
All
this.
right, hold on. Let me find a big one. Yeah, it's a sizable one.
Yes.
They look like they're going to be very crunchy.
Yes. Let's do this.
Yeah,
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Man.
Okay, let's do this.
What we do for you people.
I know.
All right.
Oh, dear. Oh. Oh. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Oh, gross. Oh, it's so gross.
These things are very crunchy.
Oh, I just dropped a piece on the floor. Ah. Oh. That taste. Oh, my God. No.
Nope. It was very crunchy.
Oh, it's so fried.
It tastes like you get those old packing peanuts. Not the ones that are safe to eat, but the ones that are like styrofoam. And you make them very hard and crunchy and you try to eat it.
Oh, it was like you had like overcooked KFC like crunches that were not.
Yeah, it's like the bottom of the it's like the bottom of the bin
The
of
bucket?
like chicken tenders. Yeah, the bottom of the bucket at the end of the night if they hadn't swapped it out and it's all dried.
It's so fried and it's so like it's just greasy.
It is what do they say? Triple fried for a big crunch or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh man, you can tell it.
Oh, it's gross. I don't like that.
When it comes to the crunch, it's just got to be Mr. Trotter's Great British Pork Cracklin. Also enjoy warm.
Ew, no!
Yeah, remove from bag and heat gently.
Oh, God, no. Oh, I'm going to barf.
Oh, man.
That's
now I
a
want to
whole
go
not
to...
a no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I was-
Mocktail, that's not an okay one.
I was excited about this because I never had it before, and now I'm not excited.
No, I'm not excited either. I could only eat half of it, and I'm like, I can't do this. This is gross.
Yeah, I did half of it so I get like the... Whoop, I dropped it and it didn't break.
Oh, I know. I couldn't bite through the whole thing. It was so crispy.
It's like so...
Oh.
You could hear it hit the desk.
Okay. This is the awful
very
one.
hard.
This is the awful
Oh,
one.
okay.
I
The
just
piece de
opened the bag.
resistance.
Open the bag. Oh, open the
Oh, man.
bag.
This is called
Oh.
Bitterfiske, dried fish.
It's dried fish, and boy, dried
Oh,
fish
man.
fillets. It is.
It
awful.
smells like fish food.
Oh God, this smells so bad.
It smells like fish food or a really back alley pet store.
It does smell like fish food. You're right. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm gonna put this in my mouth. Okay, so here's what they look like.
Okay. Okay, I got a...
I got a big one too.
Yeah, this is...
These things smell like ass. Oh.
I do like fish. I like fish. I like
Oh.
shrimp, crabs. I love all that stuff. But I don't know.
I don't know about
Oh.
this. Okay, here we go.
The grand finale, folks. Thank you, Mocktail.
We love you. 3,
Cheers.
2, 1. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, my God. That's terrible.
Okay. It's very chewy. Oh, man.
It's like you ate fish that was... Oh. That was cooked too long.
You know, like kind of like we said about the chicken tenders for this pork cracklings.
Oh,
It's the
my
same thing,
God.
but with fish.
It's so
It tastes
fishy.
like really bad catfish.
Oh, it's so fishy. Oh.
It's very fishy. I got it down though.
I swallowed it.
Oh,
Oh, no way.
man.
Oh, there is
Nope.
hell to the no on that.
If I was lost in the Icelandic tundra, which I know Iceland isn't very icy compared to Greenland, but if I was starving and I came upon a bag of these, I would have to think twice.
Oh,
I would probably eat it
God.
the second time I thought, but man, these, I'm gonna see if the cats would like
The
this.
whole room smells like it right now, too.
Oh,
Yeah.
excuse me. It's very fishy, and I don't know if I like that too.
Well,
much.
it's so chewy. You
It is
bite
very
into
chewy.
it, and then
It's
you're
like a
chewing
stale.
it.
It's got the texture of a really flat, really old. What are those called? The breakfast cereal, the shredded wheat.
Oh,
It's got like a shredded wheat texture, but a
does.
really chewy, slightly chewy, dried out, stale shredded wheat.
Mock tells it it's better than fermented shark. Just
Ew.
saying.
Ew, you had me at fermented. Ugh.
Oh, I know there's awesome stuff in this box too, and I can't wait to try it. But
Yeah.
we have to entertain you with bad stuff on the stream.
We've got some Cadbury peel and reveal flake chocolate, I think.
I know
Yes.
there's so much cool stuff in that box.
Oh,
Thank you so
yeah.
much for all this neat stuff. We'll take pictures of it and put it on Twitter so we can show off what we got in the box.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't want us to try cool stuff on there and good stuff. That's boring. You want us to almost vomit. That's funny.
Yes. That makes for good radio, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it does.
Oh.
That is awesome. All right. We're going to close up everything here by
Yeah.
getting in some updates
Yeah.
and
So that-
feedback.
But that was the taste tank, folks. That's the first time you've seen us do the taste tank. That's when we try foods from different parts of the country or outside of our wheelhouse of normal cuisine. So if you have some interesting foods that you might want to send to us, just send us an email at questions@torrenthinktank.com and we'll see what we can do.
We've
So, yeah,
tried
thank you again,
seaweed.
Mocktail.
We've tried what I've tried ginger, or ginger
The sriracha peas.
Sriracha peas. I mean, we've tried all that weird stuff. So, yeah,
Aloe vera juice.
that was there. Oh, that was bad.
That was weird.
Yeah,
Ugh. That floaty thing's in it. Gross.
it was so gross. All
So,
right.
yeah.
Now
Thank
that
you
I've-
again, Mocktail.
Yes, thank you for that. I still taste fish. Okay, here we go with the feedback.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now bring you. Whoa, that's a lot of feedback.
It is. We've got lots of it from this last couple of weeks. So 170 episode 174. On episode 174, we had a letter from a writer who wanted to contact the siblings of his biological father who had passed away and he had never really spent any time with. We got a letter right back from him, and here is his update. Hi again. Thank you for your advice on the show. I watched it live tonight and wanted to add some information. I'm 33 years old. Someone guessed it was really close. I said, I only have what my mom and my grandparents spoke of my father and a handful of very old memories. I remember him picking me up for visitation, and I was really, really, really upset. He had a woman with him, a girlfriend. They are both laughing at me because I'm crying. My mom once told me he had a kid or two with another woman after her, then divorced and remarried and had another kid. So he's had 4 kids by 3 different women. Only 2 of those kids have his last name. The third does not. So I kind of suspect he might be in a similar situation to me. But I found the youngest son on Facebook, and he seems really close to my bio dad's last wife, who is not his mom. So who knows? I have no reason to suspect my mom or grandparents were being dishonest with me about how he was, but I believe people can change. Did he change? Who knows? I have considered the impact upon their lives as well. This was one of the reasons I decided not to attend his funeral and introduce myself. They just lost a father, and then I show up and drop a bombshell on them. What I had thought about doing was just speaking to his wife or kids there and asking them casually how many children he had. If they said 4, I'd go ahead and introduce myself. If they said 3, I'd just nod, give my condolences, and be on my way. My main motivation for wanting to contact them is curiosity. I mean, these are people I'm related to by blood that I know virtually nothing about. I'm not expecting to be invited over to dinner or even any sort of normal family type relationship. I want to know what they're like. I want to know what he was like. Most of my life, I really wasn't all that interested until his mother passed away. So while this doesn't occupy me my every waking thought, it's been something that I've been thinking about off and on since 2010. There's some medical concerns too. I'd like to know why a 46-year-old man had a heart attack and died. It happens, though. If one positive thing came out of it, shortly after this, I had a bit of a wake-up call for myself, and I've been trying to take better care of myself health-wise. I have a long way to go, but I'm a lot more conscious about it now. Since I sent my first email, I've made progress in my genealogy research in all of my family lines, including his. I located where my grandparents, through him, are buried and visited their grave. I can probably contact the funeral home, even though it's been a few years. I imagine they could tell me.
Yeah.
As far as contacting them on Facebook, I only said that because it's the only available way I have. I don't have their addresses or anything else. I do it via private message, of course. I never post anything like that on a public forum. I have taken your advice to heart, though. I won't be contacting his wife. I also hadn't really thought about it, but you guys are absolutely right that if I do this, it'd be opening a door that I probably won't be able to close. I still don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm glad to talk about it with someone unbiased, and I'm glad you guys also think that it's a pretty big deal, and I'm not just overlooking things. Thank you, and have a good night. From Thandrin of Destromath.
Definitely, man.
There's a lot of good information there. If you listen to that episode, that added a lot of pieces of what we had for the conversation. You can go back and listen to episode 174 if you wanted to hear the whole conversation. And we wish you a ton of luck, Thandrin. If things do develop and you do contact them and you want to give us an update on that, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, we definitely love to hear how it goes if you decide to go forward with it.
I still taste fish. Ugh.
I know, me too. I can. It's on my breath.
It's on my breath too. It's like, oh, it's so gross. I can't wait to brush my teeth. So you guys remember the email we got from Valor that said that I was getting super, super quiet on certain episodes? We had suggested, we talked about it, and he said, hey guys, I do in fact listen in my car on the hour commute to and from work. I had no idea that the computer would alter the volume when braking. That makes heaps of sense, though. Out here, no one knows how to drive safely or courteously. There you go. So I'm braking more than I would like. Thanks for the education. Now I know, and knowing is half the battle. Loktar Ogar from Valor.
Yep, that's what I thought it was. So I'm glad we were able to figure that one out.
Yeah, that was coming from Kalani. Thank you for that, for sharing that information with us, because that was awesome. And now it is time for the giving of the Slash Moose. Start it off, sir.
Our first one comes from our friend from PAX South, who is there, the Lady Gossie. Slash moo to the PAX South crew for an awesome time. So happy to meet everyone.
And from Rulishk, I can never pronounce your name, Rue, so I'm just going to call you Rue. Slash moo to Crumbles for holding the Metiera table for a dozen, because who's going to try and take a table from Crumbles? Am I right?
You are right.
You were right.
Next one comes from Bell. Slash moo to Frosty and Kaz of CTR for being supportive and caring raid leaders. And to Panda for putting up with us.
From Zafira. Slash moo to Kalani for sharing his story. Slash moo to Cuddles for the crap storm you've been in, man. And slash moo to Calvant just because. Slash hugs.
Oh, yeah. Next one's from Caro. Slash moo to Cuddles for having me on the game case this week.
Spike is coming in the room smelling the air.
Yeah, I saw him come by. I was like, that's a kitty.
From Memeth. Slash moo to LeGrayson, who now has wheels to get around in.
And there's Garrus.
And there's
I
Garrus.
see him over your shoulder. He's staring at you. That's cool. And finally, from Wicked Kitten 13, slash moo to Zafira for being our little Zeph.
Aw, thank you guys for the slash moos for setting them in. You can always do that. Questions at torrentthinktank.com. The Discord server has its own room for slash moos. You can add them in there, or you can send them on Twitter at torrentthinktank. You can do that before or during or after the show. You can do it that way in there too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all our Slash Booze for tonight. Our show is available on iTunes and Stitcher Radio and a whole bunch of different places where you can download podcasts. And on our website, TaurenThinkTank.com, which has every single one of our episodes to find out there, and you've got it, which is pretty darn awesome. And
Yes, it is.
I never wears here. Hi, she's saying I should lose my hair. My hair is like darker today because I got it done last night, and so it's going to be darker for about a week, and then it'll fade back to its normal color. But there we go. Yeah, that's what we're going on. What is shaking with you for the next week or so? It'll be about a week and a half until we have the next show.
Yeah. Well, I have I'm able to play trombone in a gig that I have with one of the groups at my old college. I did my first rehearsal last night, and I have a rehearsal actually right before our next show. So I'll be able to talk a bit more about that next time. It's really awesome. We got to play for about an hour last night, and it was cool. Getting a chance to go back to my old stomping ground and play like that. So I'm going to be practicing because that was the one thing about going there, is actually getting to play with everybody and realize that there's some parts I need to work on here and here. There's a lot of ink on the page, and I just have to get it under my fingers and just work on it. So that's what I'm going to be doing a lot of
practicing.
Yeah, definitely. And so just a bit of that, just the normal stuff on top of that, and that's about it, really. I can't think of anything else, really.
Okay. All right.
What about you?
Oh, I'm a busy bee these days.
Yeah, you are.
So Thursdays, I Remembered It Better records at 8:30 Central. Again, you can find us at twitch.tv/IRIBetter. We talk about geek nostalgia and all those great things. Fridays, I've been doing Drinking and Swearing with Pat Crane, where we play video games with you guys and we drink and we swear, and it's awesome. We've played Rocket League, we've played Brawlhalla, we've played Jackbox Party Pack this last week.
Love that one.
So much fun. We played Quiplash and Drawful and stuff like that. So come and hang out with us. That's on Zug's channel, twitch.tv/Zug. On Tuesdays, you guys got to come and hang out with us for Here's the Storm Ladies Night with me, Jocelyn, Quoted Nevermore, and Barber. We have so much fun I don't know, my really inappropriate sense of humor tends to come out when I'm hanging with my lady friends.
Yes, it does.
I'm funny. And that's with Jocelyn Moffat from the Angry Chicken Gamers In podcasts. And you can find that at twitch.tv/JossPlays. It's usually about 8 to 9 o'clock on Tuesday nights. Yeah, so much stuff going on. And it's been great. Coaching, I'm doing lots of coaching and
Case of the Mondays.
Case of the Mondays. I forgot about that. Case of the Mondays
Yeah.
with Pat Green. It's on Mondays in the afternoon when we can squeeze it in. I have so many things. Everything seems to pile on Mondays, and I'm like, I've got to work on this Monday, or I got to not do, so we get a show in when we can get in there, which is great. So yeah, I've been a busy bee, and I'm loving it because I'm having so much fun with all the things we've been doing lately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's a show for tonight. We're going to bring this puppy home in just a moment with this lovely music. That's a lovely music. Tauren
Yes.
Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
Portions of the music and sound effects heard on this show can be found at incompetech.com and freesound.org. You can also find us outside of the show on our website, taurenThinkTank.com, which has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us.
Thank you to all who support our show via Patreon. If you'd like to help out Triple T, you can do so at patreon.com/TaurenThinkTank.
Yes, you can. You can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. You can also find us on Twitter. You can find the show at Tauren Think Tank. You can also find Jules at Jules RPG and myself, Marconin, at Marconin Wow.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, chat room, for being with us tonight, especially on a special night like tonight. Different time, different day. We appreciate you being here. But you can find us every Sunday night at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Twitch.tv/Tauren Think Tank is our Twitch channel for the live stream. We have the best chat room in the world. Come
Yes,
hang
we
out
do.
with them because they are the best people that you'll ever meet in this lifetime. We love seeing you all here with us when you can be here. And on the downloads, thank you so much for all of your downloads, watching the videos on YouTube, and all those great things. Marconin?
Yeah. Jules?
Thank you for a great show. It's good to be back.
It is good to be back. It's so weird not seeing you in the same room like it was at PAX.
It was so good to spend time with you, though, and I'm so glad we got the
Absolutely.
chance. And so there's lots of things coming up for the next few months. Get your plans together. We'll be seeing us in Minnesota at the beginning of June.
Yep. 4 months away.
4 months away from today. All right. So we'll be back next Sunday. You guys have a wonderful Valentine's Day. For myself, for Marconin, for the entire chat room. Until next time. /moo, everybody.
/moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
Really?
It really is.
Spike
It's
is
really
sitting
okay.
at my knees, and he is just staring at me like, what is that smell?
Mom, I smell some fish.
He wants to get up here so bad. Like, I can
What
tell
is in the bag?
he is just like, where is the smell coming from? Because I want it. Garrus kind of left. He's sitting on the bed. But
Yeah. So show titles, folks. What do you...
You had one early. Oh,
Yeah,
you had it when it rains, it pours.
pours.
That's long. Eat some shredded catfish.
Yeah.
Something's fishy. We can call it something's fishy. Packing peanuts, remove from bag, heat and heat gently.
Remove from bag and heat gently. Really bad
Really bad.
catfish.
Ew, shredded fish. I still
Still
taste
taste
fish. I think that's it right there. We both laughed at that.
That's going to get some raised eyebrows for sure on the
I
download.
still taste
I still taste fish.
fish. I still do. So long and no thanks for all the fish.
I'm getting some of these cheddar crackers to actually no. You know what I can get is some Girl Scout cookies.
Seriously. Go get yourself
I've got the
some Girl Scout
tag-alongs.
cookies.
With some peanut butter in them. I love these.
I have been resisting those damn things, but those kids sit outside that grocery store and they're like, would you like to buy some Girl Scout cookies? You're like, screw you. Of course I do.
Yes, I would like to. But will I? No.
Yes. They got smart though. These kids were making like websites this year that you could buy them on Facebook and here, go to my child's cookie website, buy your cookies and we'll mail them to you. I'm like, oh, screw you. Don't do that.
It is so easy.
I know you've made it so easy for me to spend $4 a box on cookies.
Yeah. I just wanted one though to get the fish taste out of my mouth.
I know. I'm going to have to like
that's
chug.
better.
'Cause I got to upload the show and I have to be up tomorrow morning for a dentist appointment. I'm having problems with one of my teeth. So I had a root canal done last year and the tooth is not supposed to, I'm not supposed to feel anything in this tooth. And it's been like a constant, actually I was supposed to go before we went to PAX and I canceled that appointment and it's a constant buzz that's going through this tooth.
Oh.
Oh, I don't like it. So uncomfortable.
You know, now that I had the tag along and it tasted I could taste the pickle right at the beginning. It's like a shot of the sour kind of acidity right at the beginning. And it doesn't stick around for very long, so it's not bad.
Yeah. Ugh. That
dried
taste
fish,
is
though.
Terrible.
I'm gonna see if I can get Pixie to eat it.
Really?
If
I
she
don't
wants
want
to
to
have
give it to
some.
the cats because I'm afraid. Okay, so again, I'm gonna swear because this was really. So we're getting ready for ladies' night last night. I'm sitting there, and the litter box is behind me. So I'm sitting in front of my closet right now. The closet has a little extra storage space behind it, and that's where the litter boxes are in the storage space. So it's you walk through the closet's there, and then there's a storage space behind it. So Spike had gone in there, and all of a sudden, this wave of smell hits me. That cat dropped ass like you had not believed. And I just, like, it hit me. And I'm on Discord. So I'm on voice activation.
You're not on push to talk.
I'm not on push to talk. And I went, holy shit balls, what did you eat? And they start laughing. And then I realized that I had said this out loud and that I had said this on Discord with voice activation to a stream.
Oh, goodness.
they're all just laughing.
Oh, goodness.
I have been so sweary lately. Like, it's so funny. I was at work the other day and I opened up a cabinet. So I keep all of the return boxes that we get in a cabinet. And sometimes my coworkers, if they receive the boxes, they'll just put it in there. Again, I'm going to swear. I'm sorry. This is, sorry if you're offended. I open the cabinet and I go, and I didn't even think about it. Like, I just said, holy fucking shit. What happened? And they all look at me like, tell us how you really feel. And I'm like, I'm sorry. They're like, they don't care. They're laughing at me.
Yeah.
But I realized that I had just like completely let it fly at work, and they were just like, they just we do it all the time. But I had no filter, and that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that's at work usually we're there a few hours before customers come in, and then one of the guys on the overnights, I would always have to remind him when when the store was open, because he's sitting there just like a sailor, just like bleh, all over the place. There's people walking around. He comes back and he's like, Jesus, why did you tell me the store was open? I was like, it's after 10 o'clock. They're always open after 10. He's like, yeah, well, I didn't see those people over there. Like, yeah, maybe if you put a cap on it a little bit.
Seriously.
Just a little bit.
I know. Well, you do it once in front of a customer, you'll never do it again.
Yeah.
Pretty much, unless you're dumb and then you do it again and then it's your problem. So
yeah, then it's like, you're just not learning. Just not learning.
All right. So then I'm going to get this show rolling to post it and get it ready to roll.
Yeah, sounds good. I may do some streaming during our showtime on Sunday.
Okay.
So I did get into the Overwatch beta yesterday.
Congratulations. I've been in it since the last round, but I haven't really said much about it.
I mean, I know it's old hat for you.
No, I just haven't been
I know.
making a big deal about it. I just,
Well, no, and I didn't go out on Twitter and be like, "Oh my gosh." I just sent you a picture, but
yeah, you got excited and sent me a picture.
I did. I mean, I got excited. I mean, I checked it on my phone through the remote desktop, back to my desktop, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder if I got it. That's awesome."
Yeah.
But I have no time. We have Love is in the Air starts on Monday? Yeah, Monday. I have 14 characters to run every day through that thing. Hopefully 15 if I can get on it. I have an 86 death knight.
We all have choices, Marconin.
I know we have choices, but mounts trump Overwatch. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I had to.
Mounts trump Overwatch. There, I said it.
Okay.
I said it.
Okay. He said it. He's admitted it. It's for real. It's happening. Just know that it's true now.
Just wait till I don't get the mount this year.
Oh gosh.
The show after that, I will be Mr. Grumpy Gus.
Mr. Grumpy Gus.
Yeah.
We're gonna name the show Mr. Grumpy Gus because you're like, oh, I didn't get it.
It's like, hey, Marconin, I noticed that Love is in the Air is done, and I did not see that you put a new mount on your Twitter.
Be quiet, folks. I messed it up again. I didn't get it. And I'm mad.
Why does Mr. Grumpy Gus sound like he's completely daft?
Well, it's like Droopy.
I know. You sound like Droopy Dog.
That's because I'm depressed.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sad. But I'm raging mad at it because I didn't get it again for the third day in a row.
Okay, it's not even done yet. No raging until it's done.
No rage. No, I am very calm. I'm so calm.
Breathe it out.
Very calm.
All right, we're out of here.
Yeah.
I got a show to post. You guys have a fabulous week. Happy Valentine's Day for those that are enjoying it. And we will be back in about 10 days.
Yep, it'll be the 21st.
Woohoo!
We'll see you then.
We'll see you then. Slash move, everybody.
Slash Boo guys, see ya.
Bye.